Hi, are you paying a ridiculous amount of money on your monthly internet and TV bills in the UK? Or are you looking to save some money on your monthly expenses? Then you need to watch this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can save some money on your monthly internet costs in the UK, the cheapest way to watch TV and get a sports package in the UK as well. And finally, I'll be talking about how much I spend on a month-on-month basis on my TV and internet bills.
Get strong.
Hello and welcome to the Nimble Nomad. My name is Arjun, and on this channel we talk about the tips, tricks and hacks to survive and thrive in the UK, and I share my personal experience with living life in the UK. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can be a bit more efficient with your monthly internet and TV bills, just because I found a lot of my friends and colleagues have been spending a ridiculous amount of money on their TV as well as their monthly bills for internet. So before we get into the actual video, I just want to talk about a bit more context. So did you know actually that the UK has one of the most cheapest monthly average costs for broadband and internet in the world? And on average in the UK, a household would spend approximately £27.39 per month on internet. Now, despite that, I actually know that a lot of my friends and a lot of my colleagues actually spend upwards of 40, 50 and 60 pounds just on internet alone. And the primary reason for that is, even though we have cheap internet packages available in the UK, more often than not, the speed that you get for those packages is quite poor. Now, the primary reason for why speed in the UK for internet is not great is because unlike the rest of Europe, majority of the internet network or the broadband network and cables that the UK uses are old school copper cables. Now, in comparison, most of Western Europe actually has pure fiber, and that's one of the reasons why often the speed of internet that you get, despite it being cheap, is not very good. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of my friends and colleagues actually end up spending a lot of money on trying to get faster internet. So in the UK, basically the network and the actual sort of infrastructure for the internet, so the wireless, the cables that provide connect to your home and connect to your actual router are provided by this company called Openreach. Now, this company manages the network for majority of the UK, and they provide the network for all of the suppliers except Virgin. So if you're on BT, Vodafone, Sky, any of these big guys, then you're going to basically be getting broadband which on a network which is provided by Openreach. Now, the difference is that if you decide to go with Virgin, which is actually the fastest internet available in the UK, you get a different cable to what you get from any of these other providers, and it's a full fiber cable, and that's the reason why you can get speeds of up to 200 Mbps through Virgin Media essentially. Now, if you decided to get Virgin Media as an internet provider, you'd end up paying a slight premium over all of these other internet providers just because they have the monopoly with the fastest internet available in the UK, and that's just the unfortunate part of how it works. Now, the other aspect that just keep in mind, the way internet is actually provided in the UK is that you don't just buy the internet or broadband package. More often than not, the suppliers will add on or bolt on TV and phone lines as well, which basically then increases your total package price, and you're locked into contracts here. So you pay on a month-on-month basis, but over a 12-month contract or an 18-month contract. So over time, all of these costs actually rack up. Now, I'm going to be talking about in this video how you can effectively manage your internet and internet package on an ongoing basis, on a monthly basis, and not pay these ridiculous fees that these big broadband companies are extracting from innocent customers like you and I. So in 2020, if basically you're paying anywhere over £30 per month on just pure broadband and internet, I personally think you're overpaying. Now, one of the best ways to get a cheap internet is basically using a price comparison website. And some of the typical ones, or one of the most reputable one that you can find on the internet is Uswitch. It's one that I've frequently used. I'll put a link of it in the description below, along with some other well-known price comparison websites. So what you can do is go onto any one of these websites, try and search for just broadband. Don't try and get any of the other packages. Just get broadband, unless of course you want a TV package included, and I'll get to that in a bit in this video. But just search for broadband packages through these price comparison websites, filter for whatever speed you think you need, and then just compare and see what is available for you. That is actually the cheapest way to get one. Now, what will happen is, when you actually decide to go through any of these with the best possible price and package that's available to you, what you will find is that you will actually be tied into a contract. Now, the way these contracts actually work is they are set for a specific time. Most of them are actually 12 to 18 months. And the ones which are 18 months, what they do is, for the first 12 months of the contract period, you'll end up paying a slightly lower fees. And then after that, you end up paying a little bit more for the remaining 6. Or if you end up in a 12-month contract, your fees is actually limited or restricted for the 12 months. But once you're out of contract, your fees goes up. So in my case, for example, I have a £27 a month contract with my provider for 12 months. And after the 12 months are over, my price actually goes up to £35 a month. Also, if you've been with your provider for a really, really long time and you're out of your contract period, then what you'll find is that the original price that you were paying or you'd signed up for on that contract doesn't actually apply once you're out of contract. So the way it works in the UK is, when you sign up for a new contract as a new customer, you actually end up getting a really, really good deal. But these providers, they know that once you lock you in and they provide you the internet, it's really hard to get out, because you have to get somebody to come in, set up the modem, get the router, all of that stuff, and it takes time. So they know that what they can do is, once you're out of contract, they can boost the price up, or when you're trying to renegotiate the contract again, they won't give you the same rate that they did when they first got you as a customer. So they just lock you in. So that's one of the things that you just need to be aware of, and that's when you will see your price creeping up into the 40s, 50s and £60 a month, rather than the average cost that I've talked about earlier in this video. Okay, so how do I get the best deal for the internet? Now, there are two ways of getting a best deal for the internet. Number one is, if you've been with your provider for a really long time and you're happy with the provider and you don't mind paying a little bit more but not getting the best deal on the market, but still paying less than what you're paying now. So you might want to just first call them up. So if you're out of contract, or if your contract's coming to an end, what you want to do is probably just give them a call. Say, look, my contract's out, I really like your service, or I want to continue with you guys because I don't want to go through the hassle of changing a provider. Then can you give me a better deal? But once you call them up and you basically renegotiate your contract, you'll end up actually getting a bit off of your original price. So you'll probably drop down £5 to £7 off of what you're paying outside of contract. Now, if you're okay with that, and if you've not been paying a significant amount, so if you're dropping from maybe £35 back to like 27 or £30 again, and you're okay with that because you're still paying a little bit more, then that's fine, I think, personally. Now, the other option is, and this is the more sort of brutal, hardcore, I want the best deal approach on getting your internet, is you say, you know what, if you're not going to give me the best deal, so if you've called up your internet provider, you told them the situation, they're like, sorry, we can't give you the offer that's available on the internet to new customers to you, because that's reserved for new customers only. Then what you want to do is you want to just basically say, okay, if you're not going to do that, I'm going to go onto a price comparison website. And if you find a package that's cheaper than what you're paying right now and has the same internet requirements, then you can basically just go for that. Now, just keep in mind, you'll have to pay maybe an initial setup cost again, and you'll have to go through the hassle of getting another internet provider to engineer to come in, set up all the things and stuff like that. But in the long term, you'll actually end up saving a lot more money. Now, one of the reasons why I'm telling you that you probably want to go with option 2, which is going for the price comparison website and getting the best deal possible, is because like electricity and gas and all of these things, the internet that you're probably getting from your provider that you're paying this 10, 15, 20 pound premium on is no different that you would get from somebody who is on a cheaper deal, because ultimately it's not like that internet that you get comes with unicorns and some bubbles and rainbows, because they're all on the same network. So the speed that you're getting maybe through let's say through BT, which is about 65 Mbps, you'll end up probably getting the same speed because they're all on the same network using the same cables. And I know this because I've spoken to an engineer who came over to install our router, and I asked him, I said, I've gone with a specific provider and I found that this was a more reputed brand, therefore I chose this. Do you think it was a better deal? And the guy said it does not matter. The only thing that's different is the router that I'm putting or installing for you and the brand name that it has on it, and that's the only difference. So it's very important to, maybe if you want to save some money and not pay a ridiculous amount of money on your internet, you want to go for that option of price comparison website and getting the cheapest deal every time you're out of contract. Okay, so let's move on to television packages. So television packages in the UK are pretty expensive, and if you're going to get the sports package as well, so if you're a big sports fanatic and you like football and F1 and all of these things, then expect to be paying anywhere between 40 to 50 pounds on top of your basic internet package. So you're now easily in the range of 80 to 100 pounds a month. I know people who are paying in excess of 100 pounds a month. So this is really, really expensive. So if you want to not spend a significant amount of money, what you can do is get this service called Now TV. And Now TV is basically a service which is provided by Sky, but the only difference is it's all through the internet. So it's streamed on a device directly onto your computer, onto your television. And these guys actually have passes. So they have sports passes, entertainment passes, movie passes, and these passes are actually quite cheap. So let's just take the example of sports, because that's something that I've talked about earlier. So if you wanted to, let's say, watch a specific game, right? So if you wanted to watch a specific cricket game or a football game or a specific race on a particular day, you could actually buy a day pass. And that day pass is, it's expensive, but you can end up paying just for that one day rather than the whole month. And it's about like 8 or 10 pounds just for that one instance. Or if you want to watch it for a week because there's some sort of a tournament going on or some sort of event that you want to watch, then what you could do is you could get a week pass. So you could just watch sports for 1 week, which is massively cheaper than paying regularly for sports, especially if you have a really busy work schedule. The other alternative is you could just get a recurring monthly pass as well. Now the monthly pass is actually really, really cheap because it ends up being significantly cheaper than paying for that additional sports package, because you're just paying for sports and sports alone, as opposed to all those other features that come with a traditional TV package. So that's a good way to actually save some money if you want to watch just sports or a specific type of TV like a movie or some sort of specific channels. So this might be something that you want to consider. What I'll do is add a link of the service Now TV in the description below, so you can go check out some of the packages whenever you want. Now the other thing is, in the UK, sports and especially football is split between BT and Sky, who are the two main providers. So you can watch, some of the matches get streamed on Sky and some get streamed on BT. So what you can do is you can just basically get a BT add-on as well, which is only about £10 more if you have the Now TV service. So again, I'll add a link of that in the description below if you want to check it out and save some more money. Finally, how much money do I actually spend? So like many people I know, before I moved into this flat, we actually used to have Virgin, and we used to pay a premium for it because we thought that it was faster internet, but actually the quality of service was horrendous and the network was always throttle down, so the speeds were never what they would be. So after we moved in here, I made a conscious decision to never take Virgin up. So I've actually gone with this supplier called PlusNet, which is actually a sub company of BT, which is one of the biggest internet providers. But the price of internet is quite cheap. So paying about £28 a month on their contract, which is actually pretty okay, frankly speaking, and it's in the range of the average cost that I talked about. And on top of that, from an entertainment perspective, we don't actually have normal TV that you get with the provider. So we just got the broadband alone. And in addition to that, so what I've done is I just watched Netflix and Amazon. So my Netflix cost me about £12 a month, and the Amazon is Amazon Prime. It just comes with everything, which I just pay at the beginning of the year. So I pay £72 for the whole year. So all in all, actually speaking, on a month-on-month basis, I'm just spending about £40 a month on internet and television. And if I wanted to watch sports, then what I would do is I would just go to my local pub before all of this malarkey that we're experiencing in 2020 happened, and just watch a football match there. So that's all for this video. I just wanted to talk about internet and TV and how you can save some money. I'd love to hear how much other people are spending money on their TV or internet, whether you're in the UK or outside the UK. I'd love to hear that. Please comment in the section below, and as always, if you really like this video or if this helped you out, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.